Welcome to part 6, the last part of this Football Manager 2016 experiment where I've swapped all of the English leagues around. If you missed the first 5 parts, make sure you go and check them out first, you know what this is all about. So as you can see, I've holidayed up to 2042, so 10 years since the last part, and I'll just let you digest everything on the screen whilst I talk you through a couple of things. First of all, sorry it's been a week since the last part. I've been incredibly busy, really busy just with general life things, so I've not had time to do this, and I've finally got round to it. Secondly, this leads on really. There's a few people over the last few parts that have asked me to do a series, take control of a team either in the top flight or in the bottom flight on this database and do a Let's Play series. Now, first of all, I'm reluctant to do that because I did a test series earlier this year on Twitch with the FM15 version of this, and there just wasn't really any love for it, to be honest, from the people that were watching, and I moved on to something else quite quickly. Secondly, I don't really have the time to do another long-term Let's Play series. I'm concentrating on the Golden Journeyman Challenge. If you haven't watched that yet, please go and check it out, but that's what I'm concentrating on, and I don't have time to do another long-term Let's Play series at this moment in time. Perhaps I'll give it another shot at some point in the future, but just not now. So moving on, let's get on with this. Oh, just before I do, just like to say thank you so much for all the support on the series. Part 1 is my most liked video on this channel ever, so that really means a lot. Over 1,000 likes, that is fantastic, so really does mean a lot. If you can hit the like button on this episode as well, just to let me know that you enjoyed the series, enjoyed the concept. Perhaps let me know in the comment section below if you're using the database and how you're getting on, having fun. You can download it from the Steam Workshop and play on this database yourself if you're interested. So as you can see here, Man United have won the league, but it's not the first time they've won the league since the last updates. So it's been dominant between Man City, basically Man City. Chelsea have won it once and Man United have won it twice, but Man City have returned to dominance. Chelsea dominated for a few years, but Man City really are the top team now in the top flight. You can see here, Hemel Hempstead finished 3rd, which is really good to see. Really pleasing to see. One of the teams that started in the top division at the start of this experiment has finished 3rd in the last few years. It's been few and far between since Lowestoft won that 2020 league title. There's only been 3 winners of the Premier League. A lot of real life Premier League teams have really dropped off, as you have seen in the previous parts. Arsenal have finished 3rd once in the last 10 years. They did finish 3rd in 2026 as well. West Ham have finished 3rd as well, though, so there's a few real life Premier League teams that have got back to where they were. The likes of Liverpool and West Ham have been yo-yo teams between the top flight and the Championship in recent years. If we just have a look at Liverpool, you can see they've been up and down constantly on this. Really, definitely a yo-yo team. I think the same can be said for West Ham. They may be a bit more stable in recent years. Yes, they got promoted once, relegated again, and since getting promoted in 2033 have been in the top flight since then. You know you've played Football Manager a bit too much, although I haven't actually played it, but you know you've been playing a bit too much when you get a regen manager in charge of a team. We'll have a look at a couple of real life players, or see if we can find the likes of Lionel Messi and Ronaldo in a bit, I think. It's good to see Lowestoft finishing quite high up the table. Tranmere Rovers, though, finishing 4th, doing really well. Sutton United particularly well as well. Whitehawk, Lowestoft, Gosport. I think Lowestoft have been in the top flight the whole time. Yeah, they've never been relegated. Have Gosport? Let's have a quick look. Yep, they've been in the top flight as well the whole time. Let me know who you think's been the most successful team out of the teams that finished or started in the Premier League or the Championship. As you've watched through this, who do you think has been the most successful team? There have been the odd team that have won, the FA Cup, and obviously we saw Lowestoft win the league and Gosport win the league, which is good to see. Hemel Hempstead have been pretty steady the whole way through as well, haven't they? Never been relegated either. Got a good national 3.5-star reputation. Just interested to see if any of the big teams have got managers that we recognise, but I think there's just a lot of regens in here now. Jan Sommer in charge of Chelsea, bit random. Man City have Lucien Philippe. And lastly, Arsenal. We'll have a look at them. Maybe Spurs as well. Oh, Nuri in charge of Arsenal. Want to look at Spurs. Spurs have Tony Kroos in charge. Interesting. That is interesting. You can see there's 4 teams that make it into the Champions League again now. I just want to have a look at stadiums as well. Oh, Old Trafford's up to 94,302 seater. Man City Stadium is the Sheikh Mansour bin Zayed Al Nahyan Park. That is a mouthful and a half. They're up to 81,250 people. New White Hart Lane, the Emirates are next. Stamford Bridge, 60,000. Olympic Stadium, Dalglish Arena, Hillsborough. Tranmere Stadium, 27,000. But some of these teams that made it up to, that have stayed in the top flight the whole time have never really increased their stadium size massively. We've got Gosport on 25,000, which isn't too bad. But Hemel Hempstead still on 12,502, despite being in the top flight for all those years. So if we go down to the Championship, Nottingham Forest and Derby going up together with Ebbsfleet via the playoffs. Sheffield United have dropped down to the Championship recently. Everton, Aston Villa in there, Swansea, Southampton, Crystal Palace. Quite a few real-life English teams in there. Leicester have just been relegated along with Brighton and QPR. So quite a few real-life Championship and Premier League teams in the Championship, but haven't really managed to sustain themselves by going up to the top flight and stay up. You can see Liverpool up and down, Leeds have been up and back down again. I think Sheffield United have been up and down, and there's a few teams in here that have just not quite sustained themselves as a Premier League team. Hayes and Yedding have been up and down between the top flight. They've done pretty well on this save as well, if we just have a look at them. So 3-star reputation team, 27,206 seats. They're pretty solid size there. Keep expecting Brendan Rodgers to pop up as a manager of a team, but I just had a look and he's off the game now, so he has retired. But someone did point out that they found it quite funny that whenever I was wondering who was managing a particular team, Brendan Rodgers just happened to appear on this save. So League One then was won by Plymouth. Wycombe just missing out on goal difference, but they did go up in second place, and Bournemouth going up via the playoffs. Now I know some people were saying Bournemouth had vanished from the game, and I think they may have done, but they've recovered. Now, there's been a few people that have said they've vanished, but they haven't. They didn't go below the National League Conference, did they? They got relegated in 2030, then they won it, but since then they've been pretty steady in the National League, and now they've got promoted from League One and back up to the Championship, so they've done all right. It's been a slow but steady growth, hasn't it, for them? But they are finally back in the Championship. They might be able to get to the Premier League. I'm not going to be holidaying any further into the future, I'm afraid. But perhaps in a hypothetical future, they could make it back to the Premier League. Sky Bet League 2 then was won by Barnsley with 83 points. Wrexham and FC United going back up to League 1. They've started to go back up the leagues. Really interesting, actually. We saw them get relegated very early on in the series, but since then they've been stuck in League 2 ever since. They haven't got relegated out of the Football League in the whole series. That is reasonably impressive, actually. And they've actually got promoted back to League 1, which is really good. I don't think they got... No, they didn't. So the Championship, League 1, League 2, went back up to League 1, then League 2 for a while, but they've gone back up to League 1 again, which is good to see. Well done to FC United of Manchester. Nuneaton and Sunderland relegated. West Brom stuck down there as well, along with Blackburn. Birmingham not doing so well on this, but Sunderland have been relegated from the Football League. They have suffered quite miserably on this, actually, looking at it. They managed to get promoted very, very quickly in this. You can see here 3 successive promotions early on, so they took a while to get out of the Vanarama North, as you can see there, but then suddenly they were up in the Championship, and in 2030 they got relegated again, and since then promoted back to the Championship 2035, but they've just gone all the way out of the Football League. They have been destroyed. They haven't done particularly well on this at all, have they? We also saw Concord Rangers get promoted by the playoffs. I forgot to mention them. My boys Chelmsford City have only just survived in the Vanarama National League. They haven't got relegated all the way back down to where they started in real life, which is good. They spent quite a few years in League 2, you can see here, after getting relegated from the Championship at the start, and then relegated to the National League, relegated down to the Conference South. So they have actually been, the last 10 years haven't been successful for them. So they in fact were relegated down to where they started, but then were promoted again, relegated and promoted again, and this season they did just survive. So they've become a bit of a yo-yo team between the conference leagues. You can see they've got a new stadium, 5,000 seater stadium, but more importantly, Peterborough promoted from the National League along with Staleybridge, who I swear have been up and down on this. I've seen, yeah, they really have. I thought I'd mention them a lot. They started, did they start in their top league? Let's see. Yes, they did. So the first season they were relegated from the Premier League to the Championship, pretty swiftly down to League 1, back up to the Championship, League 1, League 2, League 1, League 2, League 1, League 2, League 1, League 2, all the way down to the Vanarama National League. But they've been promoted again back to the Football League. They certainly have been up and down a lot, haven't they? St Albans, Accrington, Havant and Waterloo and Corby, the 4 teams unfortunate to go down. I don't think there's any huge teams in here. I mean, Bradford stuck along with Doncaster and Crewe and Blackpool, Preston as well, but there's no real life Premier League teams in there stuck in the non-league. I don't think there's any, in fact. We'll have a look. Vanarama National League North then, won by Worcester, 104 points. They've completely run away with it on here. They started quite near to the top of this, actually, at the start. They started in the Championship, relegated all the way down to the regional leagues, but got back to the Vanarama North, and now they've completely destroyed everyone this season, getting promoted. They've got a 5,000. There's a lot of teams down here that have built new stadiums in the during the series. Macclesfield promoted via the playoffs as well. I suppose that it was when they were in the top couple of divisions they decided to build a new stadium. By the time they'd built it, they were already relegated down to League 2. Solihull Moors, Chest and Stoke getting relegated out of the game, basically, into the regional leagues. Wow, Stoke City have really failed. 1-star reputation. They don't have a manager right now, but they have seriously failed on this. They have really, really struggled, because I think they did quite well right at the start. They got promoted in the 3rd season, which is quite impressive considering there was the likes of Man United, Man City, Liverpool in there. And it only took them 3 seasons to get promoted to the Vanarama National. And then you're thinking, well, it's a dead cert that they're going to go up through the leagues. They should surely just go up every single year now, like the other Premier League teams. But they didn't. They got stuck in the Vanarama National, got relegated again, promoted, relegated, promoted, relegated. And now they're out of they're in the regional leagues. That is crazy. So sorry, Stoke fans, but your team has failed you miserably on this. They're still worth 16.18 million and have 11,304 season ticket holders, despite the fact they've just got relegated from the National League North. Wow. Oh, Salford City are up there on 70 points. I think this is the first time we've seen them featured. So well done to Salford City. Let's go down to the National League South then. Cool, it takes ages to load everything now. I've gone so many seasons. Weymouth were champions, 95 points, and AFC Wimbledon going up in the playoffs. They've not been able to recover. As you can see here, they started, I think, in League 1. Did they start in League 2? League 2, I think. Yeah, League 2. Got promoted quite early on, but have been relegated all the way down to the Vanarama South. And they've gone up this year, but they've not had a particularly good time in this save. Hampton and Richmond, Dorchester and Harrow relegated. Anything... There's no craziness in this one. There's no Stoke City, for example. All the Premier League teams have done reasonably well, apart from the likes of Stoke and Sunderland, I guess. Now, there's still question marks over certain teams like Bolton. I've looked at them 2 or 3 times, but people keep asking to look at them. But they are completely stuck. They have not got out of the regional leagues after getting relegated in that first season on this game. They're obscure, half a star reputation. They've still got 9,367 season ticket holders and worth 24.83 million with secure finances, but they have just got completely stuck and haven't been able to make it out of the English Southern League Premier Division. So sad times for Stoke. There's probably a few others. I don't know. Have we seen Charlton? Charlton are in the Isthmian Premier. They've suffered. They got relegated in that first year as well. And they're a similar story. They're worth £34 million. Have over 8,000 season ticket holders. It's really quite ridiculous that. But they're stuck. They haven't been able to get out. So let's have a look at the FA Cup winners then. Man City beat Lowestoft 2-1 in this year's final, but let's go back 10 years, see what's happened. So we saw Sheffield United win it in 2032, then City beating Sutton United, Man United beat Man City, West Ham beat Whitehawk, Ebbsfleet beat Chelsea, that's great to see, Tranmere beat Gosport, Chelsea beat Man United, Spurs beat Lowestoft. Good to see Hemel Hempstead winning something, beating Man City in the 2040 FA Cup final, then Man United, then Man City. Been pretty dominant for Man United since they've got back up to the top flight. They've done well in the FA Cup. And Capital One Cup, Ebbsfleet beat Hemel Hempstead in 2032. Then we saw Gosport beat Man City. Man City beat Man United in another All-Manchester final. Spurs won it. Sheffield United won it. Gosport beat Ebbsfleet. Man City, West Ham, Sheffield Wednesday, Man City. Man City really dominant in the Capital One Cup over the last few years. Community Shield, you can see here, it's mainly the big winners. But over the years, we've seen the likes of Gosport, Lowestoft, Gosport again, and Hemel Hempstead win it. Johnstone's Paint Trophy, as you would expect, is a real mixed bag because of all of the leagues being jumbled up. In recent years, we've seen Swansea win it a couple of times and Norwich. Stevenage, Bradford PA, Watford, Maidenhead, real mix of teams in there. Sunderland have been runners-up a couple of times, as have Newcastle. Sunderland have been runners-up 3 times, actually. And the FA Trophy, we've seen in the last 10 years, Wigan, Southend, Bournemouth, Wigan, Colchester. Wigan have been really good in the FA Trophy, haven't they? West Brom have won it as well. So they were in the conference until recently. Champions Cup-wise, there have been some English winners. Man City have won it, but Man United have won it twice, you can see there. Man City have been in 3 other finals as well, a bit unlucky there. No Barcelona in there, I don't think. Barcelona last won it in 2029. And the Euro Cup now, this is great. Gosport managed to win the Euro Cup, beating Arsenal in the final in 2036. That is really, really good to see. I'm pleased for them. Cambridge got to a final as well, losing out against Benfica. Chelsea, Tottenham, Man United, lots of English winners in there, but really good to see Gosport winning a final and Cambridge getting to a final as well. World Cup wise, there's one due in a couple of months, but you can see the last few winners. Belgium beat Argentina, South Africa beat Italy, that is random, and Turkey beating Colombia as well. The last 2 winners, really unexpected. We've seen Japan, South Africa and Turkey win the World Cup. Argentina, Holland and Belgium, the other 3. No South Americans. Oh no, actually Argentina, I tell a lie. Brazil haven't managed to even finish in the top 3 on this save. Holland have featured heavily. They've won it once but finished 3rd 4 times. England have finished 3rd once. Spain have finished 3rd once. But wow, really great for Japan, South Africa and Turkey. That Japan one was a real anomaly. In the first World Cup of the save, they managed to win it. Really random. And in the Euros, we can see Italy have won it a couple of times, France have won it a couple of times, Holland have won it once, and Portugal have beaten Germany in the last 2 finals. So I thought I'd have a look at World Player of the Year for the simple reason, in the last one we saw Ozil get 2nd place whilst at Lowestoft, which I thought was fantastic. We've seen lots of, 2 Man United and a Man City player win it in recent years. If we just go up, I'd love to see like a Lowestoft player again, but it's probably unlikely. Just looking across, it's Chelsea, Man United and Man City featuring heavily, in Porto in recent years have featured heavily. Hugo Alves, star man for Porto, winning 3 World Player of the Year awards, and he's now 34 but still a very, very good player. It's probably the reason why they've won 2 European Championships, 67 goals in 112 games. But no unexpected teams in there, unfortunately. I really wanted to see a Lowestoft player again. Let's have a look at some of the rankings then. Brazil currently the top team in the world, but they haven't won a World Cup on this. Colombia up there, Turkey, USA above England, Ukraine are above England. Don't think there's anything completely outlandish on here at the moment. You may spot someone. Bolivia quite high up in 24th. Let's look at competitions then. So the best competition in the world is the English Premier League, once again above the German First Division and above La Liga as well. Serie A and Liga 1 also have a 4-star, and the Portuguese Premier League have a 4-star reputation as well. Cup-wise, obviously the World Cup. England have the best domestic cup, once again. Clubs, so these are the top reputation. Barcelona, Madrid, Bayern Munich, Juventus, PSG, Atletico Madrid, Man City, all the way down there. That's the top English team. And then the next best is Chelsea. Then we got Arsenal. Where's Man United? Am I blind? Man United is surely here. Can't see them. Tottenham, West Ham. I'm confused. I think I've just completely blanked. There we go. They're down here. They are below Arsenal. I'm surprised how low they are actually. Let's have a look at finances though. Tottenham are the richest. Oh no, sorry. False alarm. Chelsea are the richest club in the world. Then it's Real Madrid, Man City, Arsenal, Man United, then Tottenham. But look at 7 teams have over £1 billion. We've got West Ham up there in 14th, Cambridge in 22nd, Sheffield Wednesday, Gosport, Sheffield United, Sutton United, sorry, Liverpool, Whitehawk, Tranmere Rovers, Lowestoft. Lowestoft still flying high in 33rd, but great to see Cambridge doing really well in 22nd, £365 million. These are all the managers in England at the moment. Now you'll spot some names in here. Just shout them out if you spot something. But Kevin De Bruyne in charge of Tranmere Rovers. We've got Jermaine Defoe in charge of Sheffield United. Jack Cork in charge of Mansfield. David Nugent in charge of Birmingham, and Wayne Routledge in charge of Wolves. Danny Welbeck in charge of Derby. Fantastic, great to see. And I'll just scroll down. You can pause it if you want. You'll probably see some names in there that you recognise. There was obviously a lot of regens in there, but good to see lots of real life players. I think these are all regens at the bottom. They'll be too young to be real people. Well, Lionel Messi isn't on the game. Maybe Cristiano Ronaldo is. Let's have a quick look. Oh, there's a Cristiano Ronaldo Campus Football. What is this? It's named after him, but he's not on the game either. Well, I think we'll end the series and the video there, guys. I'll just leave it on this screen. In fact, we'll just have a look at the transfers quickly. Biggest transfer this year was 31.5 million. I'm just going to go back in time. I want to see if there's some crazy fee in there, but I don't think there is. 73 million's the highest. And there's never been anything completely over the top. There's never been £100 million player, has there? But thanks for watching the series. It's really much appreciated, all the support on this. It's been really intriguing. I've enjoyed going through this with you and looking at some fascinating things. If this could ever happen, it'd be amazing to see what would happen in real life. It's never going to happen, obviously, but it's interesting to think about. As if this did happen, how quickly would the teams like Man United, Chelsea, Man City get back? They probably would get back just as quickly as they did on this save, and there probably would be a few more Premier League teams that would make it back. I'm pleased to see the likes of Lowestoft, Gosport, Hemel Hempstead surviving the entire time in the top flight, because last time I don't think we really saw that. There might have been one or two, but there's certainly more successful teams that started in the top flight on this experiment and have survived and gone the distance and won trophies as well. European trophies, Premier League titles, FA Cups, League Cups. Fantastic to see. Oh wait, just one thing I forgot. We have to look at England just to end it. It's just the right way to end this, I think. Michael Duckworth is in charge. There obviously won't be any names you recognise. However, I just wanted to look at the teams involved in the England team. We've got Sheffield United, Lowestoft, Hemel Hempstead in there. There's 2 Man City players. There's no Chelsea that I can see. Only 1 Man United. It just shows that those teams have gone on and decided to sign lots of foreign players. And these teams like Sheffield Wednesday, Hemel Hempstead, they've all got lots of English players in the team. There's a guy called China that plays for Gosport, He's 31 years old, has 46 caps for England, but he's called China. That is random. Great name though, easily remembered, I guess. But there we go. That's the end of the series. Thank you for watching. Like I said, please hit the like button if you have enjoyed it. That'd be much appreciated. If you've got any other ideas for future Football Manager experiments, you can stick them in the comment section below or tweet me, and I will add them to my list of possible ideas for the future. I've enjoyed this. I hope you have too, guys. I will see you very soon.